Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. This is for entertainment purposes only, so if you're entertained, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. So today on the pit, we are picking our draft teams of ETFs. And how it's going to work is that each of us is going to pick 9 ETFs, but when someone else chooses that ETF, we can no longer use that ETF. So, when I first heard about this, so before we get too far into the weeds, I would really love to thank the members of this channel. Thank you so much for making your bad financial decisions together with me. And some of the perks that you get from this is I'm uploading all of these daily videos with no ads, and you get earlier access to these. And I do have some videos that are more life story type videos, off-brand Amy, that I haven't published yet, but will soon. Anyways, thank you Scott Behringer, Michael Holiday, Motivation Boost, Shane O'Mac, Bill Bryant, Patriot Spalding, BGP Automotive, in my opinion, Jetta, and Omega World X for helping make YieldMight and this YouTube channel more sustainable and me doing this full time. Anyways, so we're going to use YieldMight a little bit because 9 ETFs is both a lot and not enough. So basically what I mean is if you're talking about a basic 3-fund portfolio, we usually choose 3 because 3 is a good amount to actually manage. And then if it's not enough, what I mean is when you do your own single stock positions, you're not really diversified until you have like 30 or 40 ETF stocks. So this is a good amount, and it gives us a chance to use some growth stocks as well as some dividend yielding ones. So my initial reaction to this, and I might actually be able to pull this off, and I wonder how long it would take everybody to get what I'm going for, and also if they're going to ruin my plans. Because today in the pit we have Brad, Max, and Rachel. So the game is, what do I want? And then how can I mess up their plans? Because that's how the strategy of this stuff works. So, speaking of strategy, my initial reaction was MS2, MST, MSTY, MTYY, MSTW, MSTR, IMST, STRF, STRC. We could also just do MSTX. Yes. STRF. I'm not even sure what the difference between STRF and STRC is, but yes, we could have 9 strategy related ETFs. I'm not even sure how much pushback I would get from that. But if we're going to do this for real, also not doing any research into this, so probably more sane. And we'll increase this to 200 so that maybe you all can see this too. So my first one would be SPY. Then we would do something like YSPY. Then SPY I, maybe. Then WPay. Then something like YMAX, and then Ulti, and KQQQ, and 5E, why not? Then we have one less left over. So I think, BITX. So basically, we'd have YSPY. Instead of KQQQ, we could do BTGD or KGLD. Yeah, let's do KQQQ. Over here it says SpyEye. And then 5e is like fine, I guess. But I really wish that like the Granite shares, the Y best is out. And we're not doing blocks. Oh, wait. Blocks. How silly of me. Okay. So let's actually just go through options for us. So in the market, so a 3-fund portfolio consists of the broad market, your growth stocks, and your value, which I'm going to just say like what pays me a distribution, income. So we have SPY, we have QQQM, we have, I say TQQQ, but TQQQ is more of a growth stock, right? And UPRO and SPMO and SCHG, and I guess we'll do VOO here as well, even though it's the same thing. And then GRNY for growth, and we'll do BTGD as a growth stock, but it's really not for growth. It's kind of more for a value, but we'll put that in here. Anyways, so then for distributions, let's just go through YieldMight. And I think for me, when we're going through a fantasy scenario and I haven't been given like I need to make a 50% yield, it really makes me we could do BRKC, that's Berkshire Hathaway. That could also be considered, well, it's not really growth stock, it's more like they it's more of a diversified holding that doesn't have, anyways. So week here, this only does like a 4% yield, but it is not individual stocks. We got that going for us. And then for Tuesday, which you'll notice that this has the weekly, monthly, annual here, and then Tuesdays and Wednesdays no longer have that. It's because YieldMax announced that they're changing it, but they don't actually, we don't have any examples of the distribution, and we're not going to enable this until I get back from California, because they're going to do lump sum distributions for everything next week, and that's going to make some of this stuff look like it's amazing. So we got, as options, we have FEET, we have 5A, Ulti, Salty, right? LFGY, and then we have we have YMAX, YBTC, and I don't really like the RDTY, all of those, but Chippy and GPTY should be there somewhere. Where's GPTY? Okay. I think GPTY needs to be moved to Tuesdays. Right? Okay, we'll fix that later. So Chippy, GPTY, then what do we have on Wednesday? So we have Winter, which is a single stock, but we're also going to put Misty down there because those are the only single stocks I care about. But we're going to put Fiat down and Coney. So GDXY, which is gold. Then we have Carvana, we have Crash, we have Dre, and Ybit. See, like, you just have so many better options than Ybit right now. So We have Zomo. We have YQQQ, Usoi, Goldie, GLDY, IWMY. And then for Thursday, the only ones I really like, well, I'm in XBTY. I do like MTYY, but maybe not all. And then YSpy, TQQQY. And a lot of people are into Maggie, so we could put that down as an option. I really do need like 54 options because basically I'm going to have 9, 3 other people are going to have 9, and I don't want to get flat-footed with any of this stuff. So bear with me here. So then for Fridays, we have MSTW. And then this is just for my own preference, by the way. And then BRKW and B3Cs. Then there is QLDY, which I'm going to predict that Max is going to use. And then, so for twice a month, we have Echo and BTCC and then BPI. And then we have KQQQ, which I'm also going to predict that Max wants to use. And then we have Soxy, Biggie. And Soxy is something that Brad could do because he does own Soxy and he does believe in AI things. So the rest of these, not so much. CLM, CRF, none of us are really closed fund type people, and I hate updating it, by the way. A lot of these for week 3 are Global X, which nobody really talks about, but I think QILD is one of those that some people like. FIAX. Then we have iMist and SEPI, AIPI, Eggy, which I think that could be a Brad thing. He also, there's a silver one, I don't know if I have on here, the KSLVJ, the curve one. That's probably going to be a Brad one. I used to be in SVOL because I didn't understand how it went with the market. So I don't like it as much anymore. They have Bitey, and then there is the SLJY, which is the silver fund for Amplify. SLJY. We could try OMA, QQQI, BitX, IAUI, which is a gold fund. Then GLDI. There's also EggQ here in SPUT, but I think I like BitO. And we'll do IBIT here as a growth stock. And then, I mean, we have all the iSpies and SpyEye and all of that. JEPI could be an option. And so we have 48 here. We have SPY. So I think for me, in the show, I'm going to try to get blocks first. That way, because I think Max, Brad, and myself all like that fund. And it is one of the more interesting Bitcoin plays right now. So then in round 2, because it's about what I think other people are going to want versus what I want to do. So I think for me, if no one's taken WPay, we're going to do that. And then by round 3, I am going to try to get the SPY, because I think with SPY you can do your leaps with cover calls, you can make your own leverage plays, you can do cover calls, and you can sell puts, and you can just own it, and it's the S&P 500. So I'm going to try to get SPY. Then I should probably take my candidates and put that into a separate tab so that we can see what we are doing. So then, what are some other things? Because I think by that point, GPTY and Chippy will probably be taken, because Brad definitely will want Chippy pretty much. He always talks about it. So, I mean, I guess we'll see. This is just a prediction, but I think that if I can get SPY, though, that I would rather be in blocks, WPay, and SPY. And then I really do wish that the Granite Shares fund of funds were out. But we're just going to go with what we know. So at that point, I'll probably just go with YSPY, even though I don't think anybody wants it. Because I do think SPY and YSPY are just a good combo to have in general. Then I think we'll go for GRNY. Just like a good old growth stock that's not leveraged. And so then we'll do... I mean, can anybody really blame me for wanting to do MSTY? I love MSTY. But I'm trying to resist the urge. So I think for me, I really just don't think QLDY will be available. What we could do is the BCCC. Sorry. Okay. We do here. Sorry, I'm giving you whiplash over here. So BTCC and BPI. So I think I might go with BTCC. Because I don't think at this point BTGD will be available 6 rounds in, because I guess we'll just do an ideal one next to it. If no one chooses what I would do, I would still start with blocks, then BTGD, then probably the WPay, then I just don't think anyone is really going to fight me over YSPY or BTCC. So in this way, we have a Bitcoin, we have a basket, we have the S&P 500, we have a growth, we have Bitcoin. So if we could do GPTY and then Chippy. Maybe we don't need both. So GPTY, and then we have the AI spin on that. So we could do Maggie, which isn't, it's just the Magnificent Seven. So I think we can do MS2 over here. Because you own half and you get half. So it's just one of those plays where I think in the long term it'll be better. And then what do we have? Then we have, I just don't think KQQQ at that point is going to be available. We could do, see, AI UI is KGLD, and we would have SLTY and ulti, and then yeah, so we could just do ulti and SLTY, but those might get taken. I've never actually, I was on the panel yesterday with Rachel yesterday, but I haven't really talked to her, and I haven't found her YouTube channel yet, so I'm going to find it, I'm going to watch it, and then recommend her, because, I mean, we have to, I would really love to be able to support more women in this space. So, we have blocks, we have WPay, Spy, YSpy, Granny, BTCC, MS2, Ulti, SLTY. Okay, so maybe here we would have MTYY and Winter. So I kind of failed at not doing any kind of strategy related things, but we all know that I have a weakness for it. So why not LFGY and or SEPI? It's just that blocks is I think we'll have better total returns over the long run. But because I think I'm the second person on the panel today, so if the very first thing that is picked is blocks, I will go with something like LFGY or Eggy. So hopefully, yeah, so if blocks is not available, maybe we'll go and just swing out the gate with Eggy. And then I would maybe try, because this is about having being quick enough on my feet to make a change in my plan based off of what other people are choosing. So I think I would do Eggy, and then if blocks is first, actually no, if blocks is first, we're definitely doing BTGD as that, and then if Eggy is in round 2, we will go ahead and do that, and then we'll do, because we already have Bitcoin and gold, so you don't actually need more Bitcoin or gold. Blocks is probably not going to be available. I mean, that's the scenario. Why WPay might not be available too. That is very popular. So if that is not available, maybe we will also, because Eggy is just a handpicks of large stocks. So maybe we can do Biggie, which is also a handpick of large stocks, but it's targeting 15, so it'll technically probably have more price appreciation. But it is yield max, so anyways, then I'm going to assume that Chippy and GPT are taken by then. So I would still want to do YSpy at this point. I do like leveraged SPY. I think in the long term, that is just not a, like, it's a good bet to place, is that the S&P 500 will eventually go up. So then what do we have? I mean, we have all the SPY stuff, but do we think that people are going to choose YMAX, or is it not the favorite child anymore? Because I still like YMAX. I just think that it's, as far as all the products go, in YieldMax, it's still weighted heavily, but it's still like the most diversified thing, or one of the more diversified things that YieldMax offers. So it's not a bad choice. Then, I'm pretty sure QLDY is going to get taken. So we'll just say like opportunistic QLDY, because I would rather do BTGD than QLDY, but if it's available, we're going to take it. So then we can do, because I'm thinking about this as a portfolio now. So we have half gold, half Bitcoin. We have Biggie, which is the like 50 large companies in the S&P 500. Eggy, which is also that type of deal. We have SPY. So then we could go back and do something like KLJD, but that's probably taken. So we have GLDY. And then if we're doing a gold, then we should do a Bitcoin, so we can do like BITO or just whatever BTCC, just to have something else on my board. We could do IBIT. So I actually do like the BitX because it's a 2x leverage. It resets daily. So over time, you won't get 2x. It'll be like 1 point something x, hopefully, of Bitcoin, but you do get that 10% distribution every month. So BITO, and then, I don't know, it just depends on what's left. But I guess we could do MSTY, MSD, and basically this whole thing. I wonder how long it would take them to get that I'm trying to do that. Because, like, if they even take some of these, there's, like, MSTU, there's SMST, there's just so many, STRC. Like, we could just go troll and do Mr. Strategy, and I don't think anyone would blink twice at me, because this is fantasy and I can do whatever I want. But I do think that if we do we have BTGD, which is like the growth version of gold and Bitcoin. So we could do something Bitcoin, something gold, and then we have the S&P 500. So at some point we'll just do the SPY, and then meme. No, we're not doing meme, but well, I guess we could do YQQQ, but I'm pretty sure that's going to get taken by probably Max or Brad. So our theme here is the S&P 500, large caps, gold, and Bitcoin. So we can just do like YBTC as the last spot. So we are focusing on Bitcoin and gold and the S&P 500. So that's not so bad. So yeah, I think I actually do like the BTGD, Eggy, Biggie, Y Spy, Y Max, GLDY. Because if Eggy is taken, I'll definitely, maybe I'll try to do like Chippy or GBTY just so that nobody else can take it. But overall, we'll see who takes what it winds up being in the end, and which one winds up getting voted as having the best portfolio. So, anyways, hopefully this was amusing to you, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.